The Joe Rogan Experience.
Imagine if that's your daughter. Your daughter goes and joins ISIS. Like, oh.
See, I was thinking about this. The Manson murders. Why I'm so into it, I have no idea. I got problems. But the Manson murders, those girls were like 17 and 19. Imagine when you were 17.
Well, they were also homeless. So you're dealing with people that were probably
little crazy.
And
Abused.
Then that was their family, right? This was like the first time they had ever had like real family.
And they didn't know the murder, exactly they were going to do till they got to the house. Then they're like, all right, I guess. One girl dips out. The other two are like, all right, let's do this.
How crazy was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, their depiction of it? Did you see
twist.
It? You saw that movie, right?
Loved it. I cannot get enough of the 60s. I want a 68 Porsche.
Great in that movie. Like
amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Brad Pitt was great in that movie. Leonardo DiCaprio
he
was
should
great
win
in that
an
movie.
Oscar.
They were both amazing.
How about the way they depicted Bruce Lee?
That was fucked up.
Was it? Was it?
Was it not?
I don't know. Like and I'm sure Bruce Lee's daughter's gonna jump all over us for the stuff I've heard. Bruce Lee was a philosopher. Was he a fighter? Was he really that much of a badass? I don't know. Like I've heard he is. I've heard from people like, no, he's never been in really a lot of fights. I've heard both. So what I thought was great is they put, like, Quentin Tarantino put his perspective on it, where it's like, I've heard that narrative and I loved it because I've seen it both ways.
You heard
where he wasn't that much of a badass. Like he doesn't have a crazy record.
Yeah, but there wasn't just that. He was a dummy in the movie. And the problem was, in real life, there's no evidence that he was ever like an egomaniac dummy. He was a very interesting guy and very insightful.
And I believe, and he was like a philosopher, and he's brilliant. Yeah. But when it comes to actual toughness, we don't know.
We
don't know for sure. But that's one. You've heard that narrative before, right?
What narrative?
That like he's not an actual tough guy.
Well, what I had heard was that at the time, he was incredibly innovative in terms of martial arts, but he didn't really fight. And he had like a sparring match once at a tournament, and he had some street fights, but he didn't, he wasn't like John Jones.
But then I've also heard that he was this badass and fought other dudes from dojos, and he's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I went, I bet he's a mix of both. So
that was not the problem, though. The problem was they made him look like a buffoon. There's no evidence that
I didn't have a problem with it. It's a movie. Everyone's crying about it.
It's a movie about a real person who has a real legacy and a bunch of people who love him.
Come on, Joe. It's a fucking Quentin Tarantino movie, and the way that I don't want to spoil the ending, but the ending too. That's not real.
Well, that's true. Then they had a totally different ending.
Like you're living in make believe. Everything, no one's real in that, except for like obviously the ranch is real where they went. Charles Manson, who's barely in it, the Manson family.
Yeah.
But everyone's kind of dumb. Like even Leonardo DiCaprio, his character's a bit of a. Are you kidding me? He's a bit of a dumbass.
Yeah, but that real guy might have been a dumbass. I mean, we don't know, but we do know.
We don't know that about Bruce Lee either.
Yeah, but there's a lot of evidence that Bruce Lee was this brilliant, insightful guy, and in that movie, they made him a caricature of that.
And you have a problem with that?
I did.
I stood up and
I didn't like
clapped. I don't have a problem with it because it's
Why
not.
did
It's
you
not.
stand up and clap?
It was so good because I thought Bruce Lee's gonna beat the fuck out of Brad Pitt.
Oh,
and then when you see that, I went, that twist is hilarious because I don't expect it, and I think of Bruce Lee as a badass, which he is. Whether he's been in a million fights or not, what he's done for martial arts is unprecedented. It's amazing what he did. So that twist for me in the movie, that's what I want from the movie.
What was the family's reaction?
Oh my God, his daughter's pissed.
Is
You'd
she?
be pissed. If that was my dad,
yeah.
Like fuck you. And that movie's so big. Like fuck you guys. Because when's the last time Bruce Lee got brought up besides Jesse at Roots of Fight selling a Bruce Lee t-shirt? When's the last time he got brought the fuck up?
The dude who played Bruce Lee was not quite shredded enough.
Yeah, he should have been more shredded.
Yeah, he just not quite shredded enough.
See, I like the twist because A, it's not real. B, you thought Bruce Lee was going to beat the fuck out of Brad Pitt. Oh, I did for sure. I was like, oh, he's about to get fucked up.
I knew Brad
And
Pitt
also
was
the
gonna
way
fuck him up.
Bruce Lee doing that jumping flying kick, his signature kick, that's probably how it go down.
You think so?
What are you talking about? With the guy who's been in fights? Like, get the fuck out of here.
I think Bruce Lee's philosophy in real fights, though, was that keeping things simple, like leg kicks and quick punches.
You're living in reality, Joe. You're living in the legacy of Bruce Lee, which is probably true. But in a Quentin Tarantino movie, that was fucking great, man. I thought that movie was brilliant across the board.
I thought the movie was brilliant. I did not like the Bruce Lee things because I thought it wasn't necessary. They made him look like a dork.
But everyone sucks his dick. So to mix it up, it's fantastic. Like Bruce Lee, everyone, he's the best. And I agree, he's the best. So
It's a movie that's supposed to be about a real guy that has a real legacy, and they made him look like a buffoon.
it's the movies, though.
I know, but they you're making the guy look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but anyone
And he
who
wasn't really an idiot.
No, he wasn't an idiot at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. He's a brilliant philosopher,
But
and
in
what he
the-
did for martial arts is amazing.
But in the movie,
that's what's great. That's what's great, because we know he's great, and you assume he's going to beat up Brad Pitt.
You're a weird fucking guy. I don't know why you think that's good.
I like the twist. Like if he would have beat Brad Pitt up, I would have went, all right, well, all right,
Yeah.
moving on.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought Brad Pitt was going to fuck him up.
Oh, I didn't.
Brad Pitt knew how to fight.
Yeah.
He was a bigger guy, and he knew how to fight. And the reality is, a bigger guy who knows how to fight, who really knows how to fight, is going to fuck up a 130-pound Chinese
Oh, you're
guy.
thinking about it too much, dude.
I do think about things
You thought
too
of it
much.
way
That's
too
what I
much.
do, though.
Yeah, you do.